With the upcoming release of Man of Steel, I figured now would be the perfect time to review some Superman games. However, before I begin, I have to say that this isn't going to be like an official Superman review month or anything like that. I might even only cover a game or two, or maybe more, we'll see. Anyway, to start off this whole Superman review cycle, I have one hell of a piece of shit for you guys. The first level of Superman, the Man of Steel for the Amiga could have been so wonderful. But they made this part so difficult and so long that after about an hour of gameplay, I just wanted to quit the game altogether. It's that fucking frustrating of a level. So anyway, let's get into it. Levels from Hell, Superman for the Amiga, Level 1. If levels were judged only by their graphics, then this one would be a winner right from the start. Superman and his enemies are well drawn, and they look a lot like their comic book counterparts. Also, the background forest has some sharp details, even if the graphics do become repetitive after a while. And the comic book-like cutscene before the level starts is another nice visual touch. As for the controls, they're really simple. You control Superman's flight path with a mouse, attack with the left mouse button, and select his powers with the right mouse button. My only complaint with the controls is that Superman's movements become sluggish when you try to turn him in flight. And this becomes a big problem when you're trying to avoid enemy fire. However, it's not so bad that it makes the level unbearable. No, what makes the level unbearable is the fucking gameplay! I haven't seen a game jump the shark this quickly since I played Cobra for the C64. In fact, this level is so fucking unforgiving that right from the start, it doesn't even give you time to get used to anything. For example, before you can get used to the controls, bam, a bunch of enemies fly in and attack ya. Jesus fucking Christ, give me a goddamn second to get used to the controls! This game doesn't have a learning curve, it has a fucking learning cliff that you slam right into. If you don't get used to the controls pronto, you are dead. Period. Just watch this. Not even 30 seconds into the level and I die. That's how sadistic this game is. Would it have hurt them to give you only 1 or 2 enemies at the start instead of 4? And maybe not introduce enemies right off the bat who can take away all your health in seconds? Of course they couldn't give you a fighting chance. That would actually make the game fun. Another problem is that when Superman is hit, he becomes paralyzed for a few seconds, so more shots can hit him and take him out quicksville. And then there are these circles that can suck your life away faster than a Bangkok whore. Please, whatever you do, game, don't give me a fighting chance. Worse yet, these circles can suck your life from far away and you won't even see it. For Christ's sakes, at least let me see the goddamn attack! One of the biggest problems in this level, though, is the use of Superman's powers. As I explained earlier, you can select his powers with the right mouse button. Superman has flight, which is automatic, as well as attacks that include heat vision, freeze breath, and a super punch. But here's the catch. Each attack has its own separate power bar, and you can only use it so many times before it runs out. Okay, he can only use his powers so often, otherwise the level would be too easy. And if you stop using a certain power, it does slowly regenerate. So you can switch from one power to another until the other one recharges. Fine, that's fair. But get this! Even if you drain a certain bar completely, you can still use that power. However, now it drains his life bar in the upper right-hand corner. That's right! Use a particular attack too much and it wipes out Superman. What the fucking hell is this shit? How could Superman stop fighting from using his powers too much? What, is he like a Kryptonian battery or something? What nitwit designed this fucking bullshit concept anyway? This doesn't look like a job for Superman. It looks like a job for a fucking competent game designer. All they had to do was simply not make the power available to you until it recharges. Or maybe have you pick up power icons that give you extra abilities until you get hit. Then you lose them again. But of course they couldn't do that. That would be too logical. Oh, and I love this game over screen. Talk about a kick in the nuts. Not only does it say that I failed, it says someone else has to come along and save the day. Yeah, well, if their superpowers deplete their life bars to nothing, then I wish them the best of luck. To succeed in this level, you have to keep switching between attacks. The punch is strong, and the Man of Steel actually gets to hit something, unlike in Superman Returns. But unfortunately, the punch can only be used at close range, and it makes you extremely vulnerable to enemy attacks. It is good against these cannon gliders, but you have to be close and time it just right, otherwise you'll waste energy for nothing. Freeze breath blows your enemies out of range and gives you room to maneuver. Unfortunately, when he does the attack, he freezes up for a few seconds and leaves you vulnerable to enemy fire. Great, so Superman can't move and blow at the same time. Wonder Woman's gonna be real disappointed by that. When it comes to heat vision, it's harder to hit enemies up close than it is from far away. To get a better shot, you have to blow enemies away with your freeze breath and then hit them with your heat vision. So by this level's logic, I can hit a target more easily from 100 yards away than from 10 feet. Furthermore, the hit detection feels off. Look at this! I nailed a fucking parademon, but it doesn't register. How fucking senseless is that? Oh, and even if you blow up one of the demon's cannons, sometimes they'll escape and continue attacking you. Lovely. If you actually bother to play this level, you're going to be spending a lot of your time fleeing the enemy so you can restore your life bar. Yeah, because I always wanted to play a Superman game where he flees danger instead of faces it head on. Christ almighty, I think I'd rather fly through fucking rings than deal with this shit. As if that isn't bad enough, though, the enemies just keep on swarming you, and swarming you, and swarming you. Take out some of them and a portal appears and drops even more of them on you. Typically, the best strategy is to blow them away with the freeze breath and then shoot them with the heat vision. Oh, but don't do it too often or else Superman's gonna run out of energy and fly away! Even if you somehow manage to adjust to the awful gameplay, the sheer repetition of it is mind-numbing. Destroy some demons and cannons, lose some life, flee, repeat, fuck up, die, repeat all over again. I read the instructions and I'm still not sure exactly how you win. Do you have to fight till the bonus timer runs out or you destroy a certain number of cannons? Another guy on YouTube had a video of this level and he had defeated over 100 demons and the level still wasn't over. Gee, I wonder why there's no other videos of this game on YouTube. At least the C64 version of this game gives you a specific number of demons to defeat, but this one's like, fuck it, just defeat as many as you want. Oh, thanks a lot. When I finally managed to beat this level, after 30 fucking hours, I had zero interest in playing the rest of this game. In most games, when you successfully beat a level, you feel like a winner because you accomplished something. But in this case, I felt like a loser because I wasted so much time trying to beat the level and I got nothing in return for my efforts. Except maybe carpal tunnel syndrome and a newfound hatred for Superman. By the way, let's not forget the level's sound effects. They're shitty too. The parademon shots sound like the gunfire from Beverly Hills Cop for the Amiga. Which isn't surprising since that game and this one are from the same company, Tynesoft. Oh, and I love the sound the parademons make when they die. Oh, sounds less like they're dying and more like they're chronically constipated. The level has no music, though there is some in the comic book cutscene. Here, listen. It's not a bad rendition of some music from the Superman movie. It's decent. But if the actual level had any music, I think it would sound something like this. The worst thing of all is that this part of the game could have been really fantastic if they took the time to make the gameplay as appealing as the graphics. Unfortunately, they didn't, and all that's left is a level that sucks brown kryptonite. So in conclusion, to paraphrase the George Reeves show, Level 1 of Superman for the Amiga is harder than a dingleberry from the Man of Steel's ass, more stupid than George W. Bush, and able to make you leap out the nearest window in 5 seconds flat. This is Film and Stuff signing off. Thanks for watching. This doesn't look like a job for Superman. It looks like a job for a fucking competent game designer.